The Tragedy of Cinema podcast is intended as a family-friendly program that by extension strives to be inclusive to all people regardless of their ethnicity, gender, creed, or any other identifying factors in this incredibly diverse world of ours. With that said, some of the films we discuss may contain serious subject matters or have content considered morally objectionable by today's standards. We do not intend to condone or dismiss these aspects of these films, but our primary focus will be on what we believe the film succeeds at, some fun facts, and our personal enjoyment factors of each film. With that said, we hope you enjoy the show.
Oh, the neon light, Jimbo and Bond take flight. 80s dreams are its delight. In the realm of black and white, movies and TV flow through the stories we all know. Silver screen tales unfold in the magic they bestow. The tragedy of cinema, when memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most.
Weekends are a good time to escape to the woods. Unless the weekend begins with Friday the 13th. Because 13 is an unlucky number. But out here, so are 1 through 12. Because these are Jason's woods. And nobody leaves them alive. Friday the 13th, Part 3 in 3D. Jason, you can't fight him. You can't stop him. And now, you can't even keep him on the screen. Friday the 13th, Part 3 in 3D. Now, when it comes to killing in Jason's woods, Jason will come to you. Friday the 13th, Part 3 in 3D. A new dimension in terror. It will scare you. Count on it.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Tragedy of Cinema podcast, Summer of Sequels series. I'm your host, Jimbo.
And I'm your co-host, Bond.
Bond, today we are talking about one of my favorite franchises in all of horror, the Friday the 13th franchise. And today we are specifically talking about Friday the 13th, Part 3 in 3D.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Bond, before we get started, I have a question. What was your favorite kill in this movie?
Ooh, my favorite one has to be the handstand. Handstand.
And the machete down the pipes.
Yeah. Why is the guy doing a handstand in the middle of the hallway?
Because he's going to get a beer. Right.
Who doesn't go get a beer on their hands?
I don't know, man. I think maybe the spear gun through the eyeball is pretty rough too.
With the best 3D effects of all time. Slice.
All right, Bond. We won't waste too much time because this is a great movie. Go ahead.
All right, we got a lot to go on this one, man. We're looking at Friday the 13th, Part 3. It's a 1982 American slasher film. It was directed by Steve Miner, written by Martin Kitrosser and Carol Watson. It is based on the characters by Victor Miller, produced by Frank Mancuso Jr., starring Dana Kimmel and some others. Let's get into that. So this movie stars Dana Kimmel as Chris Higgins, our main character, our main heroine, if you will. She was in shows like Charlie's Angels. She came out in Different Strokes, Facts of Life, Happy Days. If it was an 80s sitcom, she made a guest appearance. It also stars Paul Kratka as Rick Bombay, Tracy Savage as Debbie Klein. Here's a little happy little fact about her. She came out on Happy Days, but one of the things I found out about Tracy Savage is she auditioned for the part of Laura Ingalls on Little House on the Prairie.
Really?
Didn't get the part, of course, but she actually auditioned for the part of Laura Ingalls, which I thought was pretty cool. Huh. There's not really a lot on all these characters. These actors and actresses in this movie didn't really go on to bigger, better things. This is pretty much the highlight of their careers, being in Friday the 13th Part 3. We have Jeffrey Rogers as Andy Beltrami, Catherine Parks as Vera. Catherine Parks was in Weekend at Bernie's. She was also in Love Boat, Three's Company. Larry Zillner as Shelley, the jokester Shelley with the big afro curly hair.
It was awesome.
He actually retires from acting and becomes an entertainment lawyer. So he goes on to represent other actors and stuff and with their contracts.
And it's thanks to him that Jason gets his mask.
That's true. That comes up later, man. One of the big iconic moments in Jason Voorhees history, Friday the 13th history, is the hockey mask. And I'm just amazed at the fact that we associate the hockey mask with Jason.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't get it until midway through the third movie.
Right. You got to remember in part 2 was the potato sack hit or whatever.
Yeah. So part 1, he doesn't come out to the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Part 2, he wears a sack. It's not until halfway through this movie that he's wearing a hockey mask.
Yep.
I thought that was pretty amazing, right? And of course, Richard Brooker as Jason Voorhees. He was a stuntman for this. So he was a stuntman that went on to.
And I'm going to go out on a limb, and I think he's probably my favorite Jason Voorhees. I think he has the look down, everything he did with this character in this movie. Some people may disagree because, they're all about, Kane Hodder and all that. But I really, really like this guy's portrayal of Jason.
I do too, because he plays him without the mask and he plays him with the mask. So, that's pretty amazing right there. Did you know that they had to refit the mask because like a normal hockey mask wouldn't fit him?
Yep.
He's such a big guy. So before I get into the plot and what this movie Friday the 13th is all about, Friday the 13th Part 3, let me go over some of the storylines that they rejected. All right. So the original storyline was supposed to focus on a post-traumatic Jeannie Field from the prior installment, right? But she decided that she wasn't going to reprise her role. She didn't want to come back. So she was supposed to be in this one. They didn't bring her back for that one.
Yeah, but I heard that she thinks she probably should have accepted that role, is what I've read.
I think so. She could have been known as the Friday the 13th girl, kind of like the Halloween. All right, so this movie opens with the best 3D opening text in history. All of the words.
Yep.
All of the words at the very beginning of the movie are coming right at you.
You know what it kind of reminded me of? The Superman. Remember when Superman, the way Superman used
the
exactly.
Superman, right?
Yep.
I agree. And so I'm thinking if I'm in 1982 and I'm watching this movie and I have my 3D glasses on, the opening credits alone are worth the price of a 3D ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, whoa, all of these names are coming right at me. And so I thought that was really cool. I think that some of the 3D scenes in this movie are some of the best, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So after the events of the second film, a badly injured and unmasked Jason Voorhees goes to a lakefront store to get some clothes. And while he's there, he murders the store owner, Harold, and his wife, Edna.
Edna was annoying, wasn't she? But how about the poor guy, man? He goes out there to the barn and he opens the cage and that snake comes out and next thing you see, he's sitting on the toilet.
Well, that's the best part is he's sitting there and he's in the store, he's petting his bunny and his wife's all, put that dirty, nasty thing away. And right there, I'm like, no bunnies were harmed.
Yeah. And he's sitting there, he's going through the store drinking orange juice and eating stuff.
He
and
opens things up and drinks it.
Doctor said you got to lose weight. And she takes the donut away from him. He picks it back up anyway.
Oh yeah. So he goes to the bath. Oh well, he goes back to put the bunny away. And there's a snake, great 3D snake, right at you, right? So the snake comes out, and I'm like, no bunnies were harmed in making this film. And then I was like, okay, never mind, a snake. Then he's on the what do they have, an outhouse?
Or is that like
What
his?
was that? No indoor plumbing.
Is that like the separate, like his garage workshop? Maybe, I don't know.
No, well, the good news is he goes out there to go to the bathroom because you hear the plopping sound in the in the toilet.
At least it wasn't in 3D. It was 3D audio, but not 3D.
Yeah, that could have been an awkward angle there, but it was hilarious.
It was a pretty crappy angle one.
That was so great. We switched scenes. Jason Voorhees. Jason's got his clothes. We switched scenes to Chris Higgins, our main heroine. She and her friends are traveling to Higgins Haven, her old home on Crystal Lake, for a summer trip. The gang includes pregnant Debbie. Why would you go on this trip if you were pregnant?
I don't know, man. Maybe it's because she went on a trip like this before and got pregnant.
Yeah, maybe they wanted to revisit.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend Andy goes with her. Prankster Shelley. Oh, poor Shelley. He gets set up on a blind date with Vera.
Remember, she's like, "Well, where's my date?" He's got that. You ever did you ever have one of those masks? It's like this, the man or woman mask you could get.
Plastic.
Yeah, it's just clear plastic with like the little blush on it and eyeshadow and stuff.
He's got no social skills. He's got no game.
He's a nerd. He's like a geek, whatever you want to call it, dork.
Whoa. Like us.
You're the one wearing glasses there, buddy.
Hey, these are prescription, I'll have you know. So he's wearing like this weird glass plastic mask over his face to meet his blind date, Vera. And right away, Vera's like, oh, great. I mean, honestly, hey, you got a blind date. First off, a blind date for a weekend at a cabin.
And it's all coupled up with other couples. You're like,
it is. Huh. And I don't have the complaint I usually have.
That there's always an oddball, right?
There's always an oddball. There's no oddball in this one.
Nope.
There's 4 girls and 4 guys. There's an awkward blind date. There's an awkward, pregnant girl and her boyfriend. But at least everybody's got somebody.
And you got the 2 hippies.
Yeah, you got the 2 stoners in the back, right? Chuck and Chili.
They think that van's on fire. They go running out and they open the door. Yeah. Oh, you guys gonna share?
It reminded me of the Scooby-Doo van.
Oh yeah.
So they run into a man named Abel who warns them, turn back. Right? And they meet Rick at the destination. I'm sorry to say, but Chris's boyfriend Rick is kind of a jerk.
Really? I didn't care for him.
He's very self-centered.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's about him. Hey, this is what I want to do. Hey, and every time you don't do what he wants, he gets mad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Shelley and Vera decide that they're going to go to the store and they're going to get some supplies. And they run into the bikers, the worst 80s bikers of all time.
I have a fact about this. Hang on just a second. So,
okay,
what is his name? The bigger black biker guy.
Is that Fox? No, Fox is the girl.
Fox is the girl.
Is that Loco?
What is his name? I'm not sure which one he is, but they said that jacket that he's wearing was like from the Any Which Way You Can or Any Which Way But Loose. I do believe it's in my notes somewhere. Nice. I can't really find it at the moment.
The Clint Eastwood movie.
Oh, here it is. The black biker character Ali is wearing a leather vest with the same Black Widow biker gang insignia seen in the films Every Which Way But Loose and Any Which Way You Can. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Right. Well, Shelley accidentally gets in the car and knocks over the bikers' motorcycles.
Well, you got to remember they basically just robbed them.
Yeah.
And they were like, just give me, can you please just give me back the wallet? Can you give me back the wallet? What? Ma'am. Yeah. And then she's like, oh, you better drive. I'm too upset or whatever. So he goes, that's all right. I'm okay. He backs it right up into them bikes. And it reminded me of like Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Remember when he backs the bike up and knocks.
Yeah, or wild hogs or any of those other
Oh yeah.
knocks down all the bikes. Of course, the bike guy, he like wraps a chain around his hand,
Yep.
right? And smashes the glass, just smashes the front windshield and the side windshield of the Volkswagen Bug. And so they make it back. And that's
Well, Shelly's like,
Rick's car.
well, I'll get him now. He turns around and he runs right over the motorcycle again, remember?
Again. Oh my
He's
God.
like, I did it.
Hey, he earned some man points.
He
could have
did.
been in right there, man.
He did.
He actually got a little bit of Vera's respect right there, manning up right there, but it didn't work. The bikers, they find out where they're staying. The bikers end up going to the barn, and they want to siphon out the gas and attempt to burn the barn down to get even for him messing up the bikes. But Jason is in the barn. I thought they did a great job in this movie of almost showing Jason,
Absolutely.
showing doors closed, showing like, there's his pants leg as he's walking into a building.
I like how they showed him like hiding behind the sheets at that one place, and you barely seen a bit. And then I really like the scene where I think it's the pothead, and he turns on that light, and then Jason's in the background. Man, it's really well done.
I agree, man. Oh, I missed two of my favorite quotes, man. Two of my favorite quotes are right at the beginning of the movie. What would a weekend in the country be without sex? Just every line at the beginning of the movie is hilarious. And there's another one called, it's like, I'm not an asshole. I'm an actor. Same thing. Hilarious. And then when they realize the van's not on fire and it's just the stoner dudes in the back, how about that 3D effect of offering the audience a hit?
Yeah.
Right?
And you know,
It's
even
like,
if you don't have 3D glasses, it's very easy to tell which parts were going to be in 3D, like the broom handle or something coming way out, the yo-yo.
Every time somebody swings a bat or a board, it goes right at, I mean, there's every 3D scene is so obvious.
I like the popcorn when he's cooking the popcorn's jumping out at you.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. So, all three of our bikers get attacked by Jason in the barn, right? And they're all murdered with a pitchfork. So it's not the machete, it's the pitchfork.
Well, didn't he get hit with the machete and then hacked up? Well, I thought he was getting hacked up, but he makes an amazing save at the end. But I thought he was the one that got the hatchet or the axe or something.
Right. So here's a little Easter egg for all the fans out there. Jason doesn't have his machete until Ali brings it into the barn, because he has this little gallon of gasoline in one hand and a machete in the other hand, but the door's locked. He can't get the door open, so he puts them down in order to open the door. So actually he brings the machete into the barn. And then Jason ends up killing Ali and taking that machete and hacking him up with it. And then ever since then, you have that image of Jason with the machete. But that's where he actually gets it from the biker. Right? So now our murder count just went up a little bit. Beep, beep, beep. 2.5, maybe 3 people more, right? So what's going on inside the house? Back at Higgins Haven, Shelley tries to scare Vera with a hockey mask and later wanders into the barn. Jason emerges wearing Shelley's mask, right? So that's the moment you're talking about. Jason gets his hockey mask from Shelley.
Yep.
It is a Detroit Red Wings mask.
Yep.
Right? And just right there, Vera is trying to get Shelley's wallet out from the dock. She like drops it in the water.
Really?
And it's just far enough out where she's got to get into the water to get the wallet.
Yep.
Right? She sees what she thinks is Shelley coming out of the barn. She thinks it's Shelley. She's like, "Hey."
Oh yeah, because he's got the goalie mask on.
Yeah, he's got the goalie mask on. So it's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then she realizes, "Oh, that's not Shelley." And then slice the spear right in the eyeball.
Right the left eyeball, man.
Right, ouch. But it's really good 3D effects, man. If you're sitting in the audience, I guarantee you're ducking out of the way trying to get rid.
Absolutely.
Jason then enters the house and slices a handstanding Andy with a machete. Oh no, poor Andy.
You know, did you ever see The Terrifier?
I did.
It reminds me of the Art the Clown when he hacksaws that girl when she's upside down like that. That's what it reminded me of. But Jason just did it with a machete, man. He just did.
Yeah. So there's a gratuitous nudity scene right before that. She goes off to take a shower. He goes downstairs to get a beer, and he decides, I'm going to get my beer while doing a handstand the whole entire time.
Did he go all the way downstairs like that?
See, I don't think he ever makes it downstairs.
I don't think he did either.
Down the hall. But the problem, okay, so here's the problem I have with that scene. If he gets hacked up in the hallway doing a handstand, and he pretty much gets sliced in half.
But didn't he did he make it back into the room?
Maybe, because when she comes out of the shower, there's no blood, there's no sign of wouldn't she have seen him all sliced up right there? There's no bloody footprints, nothing.
I don't know.
I mean, I can understand she didn't hear him screaming because she's got the shower going, but
she was awful worried about him, though.
I thought he was killed right outside the balcony.
It may have been.
He went back in bed. But she didn't see it. Right? She didn't see it. So Chris, where's Chris at this time? Right? Chris and Rick, they're out there, they're talking out by the woods. Now, see, I noticed while they were talking that the Volkswagen Bug had its lights on while they were sitting by the campfire.
And you know what else I noticed? The windshield's fully intact right there. I didn't see any glass broken out of it.
That's nice. I hope not. Well, I did miss a kill. Chuck goes downstairs when the lights go out. Right? Chuck goes downstairs and he's thrown into the fuse box and electrocuted.
And the lights come back on.
And the lights come back on. They kind of blink a little bit. And she's like, hey, you fixed it. So, but, and Chili finds Shelly bleeding. Okay. Here's something I noticed. There's no reason for anybody to think that there's a crazy killer on the property.
No.
That's one of the things this movie does so well, was everyone who dies is not running away. They don't know there's a killer.
Well, do you know that this took place one day after part 2? So there's not been a lot of news coverage or any of that. So it's just one day after part 2.
There's no reason why they shouldn't be there.
No. Yeah. So they didn't.
And I noticed as the killings are going, no one sees him kill anybody. Nobody finds a body. So everybody's just going about what they would normally do, and these bodies are piling up without anybody noticing.
Yep.
It isn't until Chili finds Shelly. Remember, Shelly opens the door and he's bleeding from his neck.
He's and they think he's
had his throat slash.
Think he's playing a trick on him.
First one. She's the first one that notices, hey, this is a joke. And then afterwards, it's like, oh, it's not a joke. She's the first one to have any awareness that there might be something wrong or something going on.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't last long because she gets a hot poker right to the, she gets hot poker.
Hot poker.
So. And then Rick's car does break down, right? Chris and Rick, they're out in the woods, campfire. He leaves the lights onto his Volkswagen Bug. It drains the battery. So they're forced to walk back to the house, right? When they walk back to the house, Jason grabs Rick's head and crushes his skull with his bare hands.
That's pretty cool.
It makes his eye pop out.
Yep.
Jason attacks Chris, who narrowly escapes the house and tries to flee in her van. But with the van running out of gas, it runs like it was out of gas. It was on that bridge.
How did it perfectly run out right there on the bridge? And then how is the back right tire just goes through the...
Exactly. For some reason, that one tire just is too heavy, so it breaks the bridge.
Yep.
So I don't know how that happens, but she survived. She's pretty tough.
I think, didn't she had already stabbed Jason in the leg or something too, because ain't he hobbling up behind her when the...
Yeah, and that was actually one of the things I wanted to mention about I don't know if this is just me, but this is the first time that I've seen where Jason shows some sort of supernatural ability to heal.
Well, not just that, but he's actually running around in this movie. He's not doing the fast paced walk. He's actually walking around. I thought that was pretty, walking fast and stuff.
Yeah, she's fighting him off in the house. She stabs him in the leg.
I think what I really like about this is when Chrissy's telling Rick or whatever at that campfire, she's talking about being attacked by Jason, but she didn't know it was Jason, but being attacked by him. And she said, this guy just came around the corner and he grabbed him by the leg, and you see him just wrestling with her and chasing her down and everything. That's why I like this movie so much, because it's the movie that made me fall in love with Jason, and the 3D helped a lot too. When you're a kid and you get the 3D glasses, but yeah, I think giving Jason a little bit of a backstory there. Now they were going to make it where Jason basically either raped or had sex with them after they died too. And they ended up saying, that might be over the edge. We don't want to go down there, which I'm glad they didn't, because that might, probably would have turned me off to this. But yeah, I just like to see him. He was very mobile, and you do see him take a few licks, and he keeps on ticking.
But what I liked about it was the fact that he gets stabbed in the leg, and then he's limping around for a while.
Oh yeah.
So for the first few times you see him, he's limping around, and then later he's not limping anymore. So I'm like, okay, did it heal?
He's climbing up the ladder in the barn again and all that.
Exactly. And so I started thinking at that time, maybe, this is where he gets some sort of supernatural ability to heal his wounds. And that's why he can't die in later movies.
Could be.
Because of this is the first one where you're like, okay, he got hurt. Oh, but he's still okay after a while. It takes him a while to recover from that limp. One of the scenes I love is when the van breaks down and he uses his head. He's like reaching for her, and she like rolls up the window, old school style, rolls up the window, and he uses his head to break the glass.
Yep. Well, the hockey mask.
The hockey mask. But I thought that was genius, because I would have been stuck. I would have been just stuck there with my arms stuck in the van.
What do I do, guys? What do I do?
Yeah. I would have thought, you know what? I could use my head to break the glass and get away. Yeah. I wouldn't have thought that. I would have been stuck there, but he uses his head to break the glass, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's just really, from the first two movies to this one, you see a big increase, I think.
Mm-hmm. And she's able to strike him in the head with an axe right there. And that's how he gets that legendary like crack in his, the gash mark in his mask, which I thought was pretty cool. What did you think about Ali coming back?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you earlier, because if he was hacking him up, because I could have swore it was him that he was hacking earlier.
He was. They didn't show him get hacked up, but they show Jason repeatedly up and down. You hear the hacking sound.
Yeah, like hitting the ground too, like he's going through bone and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
that's what I was asking you. I was like, but I didn't even really see any marks on him either, like he had been hit at all. You know what I mean?
No, he looked like he was pretty messed up. It just,
but I mean, I thought Jason was like cutting off limbs and everything the way he was hacking that down on him.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. He would have been like decapitated.
Yeah, or missing an arm or something.
Jason is hung. Like in the barn, he's hung with a noose.
Yep.
And once again, that kind of showed that he has the ability to heal and come back, because his neck snaps and he's hanging there dead.
Well, not only that, but he has the power to lift himself off that hook too, or whatever,
exactly.
Take it off.
So I don't know, maybe whenever he dies, he comes back stronger than he did the last time.
Maybe
whenever he's hurt, he comes back stronger, because he gets stabbed in the leg. He limps around for a while, then he's better. He's hung by the noose. His neck snaps. He looks dead. He's acting dead. And then all of a sudden, boom, he wakes up as if his supernatural powers kicked in. He comes back from the dead. And like you said, he's stronger than he was before, because now he's able to pull himself up on that rope and escape.
Yep.
And this is the time where Chris recognizes him as the same man who attacked her 2 years prior. So it's 2 years ago before that. I don't know. Somehow Ali wakes up, tries to attack Jason, but Jason finishes him off. But the distraction is enough to allow Chris to strike Jason in the head with an axe. There's the axe mark. He staggers momentarily towards her before collapsing. Exhausted, Chris pushes a canoe out in the lake and falls asleep.
Did we not learn anything?
But she wasn't part of the first movie. She doesn't know that that's something you're not supposed to do around Jason. So she gets in a canoe, falls asleep, and wakes up. What'd you think about that crazy ending to this movie?
When basically it was all in her head, and they like the old lady came out of the lake.
Yeah,
it kind of reminded me of.
Mom.
I thought it was Norman Bates coming out of the lake. There, it kind of looked like his mom coming out of the lake. But yeah, it looked like
Jason's
Mrs.
mom
Voorhees
pops out.
Yep. And then you see the police officers pull up, and they're like, "Oh well, she's in there. She's had a total mental breakdown. She's the only one that survived." And you see her coming out. She's like wigging out, dude. You know, like.
Well, not only that, but like Jason's not in the barn anymore. Like he's gone. Right. That's part of.
He's still there. Oh, her dream. Yeah.
Part of her dream. Yeah. Part of her dream is he's gone, and then she gets attacked by the mom that comes out of the thing.
Right. But in reality, he's still laying in the barn.
Yeah. When she wakes up and she's like being loaded up in the police car, he's still dead.
Mm-hmm.
He's still lying. Well, he's lying there.
I think now I know what happens in the next movie because he, they take him to the morgue, and that's where everything.
Hey, spoilers.
I know, but that's the next movie.
Okay.
I wish they wouldn't have showed that in her dream, and I wish that it would have been when they were taking her out and he just disappeared. You know, kind of like in the original Halloween when Loomis shoots Michael out the window, mm-hmm. and then he goes and looks over and he's like, he's gone. He's like, it can't be. I shot him 5 times or whatever, 8 times at close range. I wish they would have done that with Jason here. Just even though you thought you may not do anymore, that I would have loved to see that. That would have the anticipation, like, oh, he's still out there. You know what I mean? Maybe this girl killed all of her friends. You know, just mm-hmm. throw a little bit of seed of doubt there.
I like that idea. What's the body count for this movie?
I'm going with 12.
Give that man a cigar.
Is it really 12?
12 kills in this movie.
It could be 13 if we don't know about Abel, the hobo guy, right? Unless he got killed somewhere off screen.
Mm-hmm. There's a couple possible ones. Jason, but we know Jason lives. Chris, when mom pulls her down, you're thinking, oh no, that's the 13th kill, right? The mom pulls her into the lake, but that was part of a dream.
Right.
So all of these are possible 13s, but they show are 12 are definitely for sure. So 12 kills, man. You're good. You're good.
Man, they missed
That's why you're the host.
They missed a prime opportunity to have 13 kills, didn't they?
You know what? I was banking on that the whole time when I was watching and I was keeping count. I was keeping score.
Well, and did he kill any animals in this?
Well, a snake killed a rabbit, and there was a dead jackrabbit on the side of the road.
Right. But I don't know if we can attribute those to Jason or just a crazy driver.
Yeah, that could just be a bad driver.
Yeah.
But that's what I have. That's what I have on Friday the 13th, Part 3.
Did this one any awards?
This one, it did not. It won some recognition, but no awards. Oh, I have something on the music that I think you'll love.
All right.
Okay. Exactly, man. All right, so you heard it in a movie.
All right, it's back. The segment is back.
You heard it in a movie. This film music was composed by Harry Manfredi, right? Who previously composed scores for a series of first 2 installments. So he was the guy who did the music for the first one. Manfredini, right?
Manfredini, yep.
Here's what I thought was funny. There's a disco-themed version of this theme song.
What did you think of the theme song of this at the beginning and at the end?
It's just not good.
No.
It's just not good. He actually credited it to a fictional band called Hot Ice.
Yeah.
And so if you were in 1982 and you went to a disco, you could hear the song by Hot Ice. It was the Friday the 13th Part 3 theme song with a disco version. According to my notes, it became popular at disco and gay clubs in 1982.
Rock on.
So I thought that was amazing. It's available in a CD box set. right? They put them all together and they made a CD box set of all the songs from Friday the 13th films, at least the first 3 films, which I thought was pretty cool.
Nice.
But the second I read that, it was popular in disco and gay clubs.
Yeah.
I just thought it was so cool, man. It is recognized in the American Film Institute. It is on the list of 100 heroes and villains, and Jason Voorhees is a top 100 villain of all time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But overall, I didn't see anything says it won any awards. I'm surprised it didn't win anything for the 3D effects.
Right.
But it definitely took advantage of those 3D effects. This movie was a big hit in the theaters. I didn't cover this, but it is a big hit in the theaters, man. This movie was made in 1982 for $2.2 million. Okay, $2.2 million in 1982 is worth 6.6 today. So this movie was made for a little over $6 million. It did $36.7 million at the box office.
Cha-ching.
$2 million
Wada
investment. In today's money, that's $117 million.
No wonder they kept spitting out sequels.
Yeah, it was made for $7 million, and it made $117 million.
I'll take that any day.
And that's probably not including CD sales and all the
merchandise.
Merchandising. Think about the Friday the 13th merch. You know what I'm saying? This is a multi-billion-dollar franchise, and this movie did great. It's pure profit. Pure profit. What do you have in the world of trivia, man?
All right, man. Hold on. Buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Well, the house, barn, and lake were all purpose built on location. The man-made lake wasn't properly sealed, and subsequently, the water drained into the soil during the first week of filming. Whoops. The Royal Independent Movie Theater in Toronto, Canada, which closed in 2006, had owned one of the few copies of the movie in its original 3D format. They used to screen the film once every Halloween. How cool is that?
I would go. Well, first off, it would sell out every single Halloween.
Every single Halloween.
Every single Halloween it would sell out. But man, I would love to score tickets to that thing. I can't imagine. 3D is so amazing.
I have always wanted to own my own movie theater, drive-in movie theater, anything like that. I think it would be fantastic.
Do it, man. Indianapolis, right there.
Well, I got
tragedy of cinema.
The tragedy of cinema movies.
Exactly. And you just show.
And then, hey, free live podcast spot for all my podcasting friends to come do live shows. There we go.
Nice. I'm there.
Okay. Remember you said that.
I'm there. You open the theater. I'll be at the grand opening, brother.
All right. So Jason had talked about this a little bit about Jenny. She was supposed to basically, it was going to be a continuation of her story at the psychiatric hospital and Jason trying to come and kill her. But she said, nah, but she probably should have come because she probably regrets it. Martin J. Sadoff, the film's 3D effects supervisor, is responsible for coming up with Jason's trademark hockey mask. Sadoff had always kept a bag with him full of hockey gear on set because he was an avid hockey fan. While testing potential masks to use for Jason, he pulled out a Detroit Red Wings goalie mask for the test. Director Steve Miner loved the look, and after making some modifications to the mask, decided to use it in the film, and the iconic mask is born. I mean, that's what he's known for, and I think it looks great.
Like I said, I'm amazed that it takes 2.5 movies to get there.
Yeah. Larry Zerner was cast as Shelley when the producer spotted him handing out flyers for a horror movie and asked him if he'd want to star in one himself.
That's awesome. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, yeah. To prevent the film's plot from being leaked, the production used the fake title Crystal Japan after a David Bowie song. This began an on-again, off-again tradition of giving Friday the 13th films David Bowie song titles during filming.
That's awesome.
Okay, this is something I didn't know about Richard Brooker. He was a former trapeze artist and was chosen to play Jason simply because Steve Miner needed a big man for the role. Being 6'3", but not that bulky, the slim and toned Brooker wore foam padding under his clothes and did all of his own stunts.
Whoa, that's very cool.
I never knew he was a trapeze artist.
No, I didn't know that he was wearing foam under his outfit either.
I didn't either, but he looks great.
Yeah.
For part 3, they moved production from Connecticut to California, where they could be closer to the Hollywood experts needed for a film that was attempting to revitalize 3D. I really love 3D movies. I just think it brings something special. They went away there for a long time, and I'm glad to see they're finally coming back around.
I'm glad they're back. Yeah.
They told the East Coast-based Steve Daskowitz if he wanted to play Jason, as he did for most of the part 2, he'd have to pay for his own airfare out to California. He objected, so the part was recast with Richard Brooker, a former English trapeze artist who could perform all of his own stunts and appear physically intimidating in stature. Now, Jason, if they say, hey, you want to reprise your role as Jason in Friday the 13th, but you got to pay your own airfare, are you going to pay your own airfare to get out there? Are you going to drive out there? Are you getting there to be in a movie? Or are you just going to say, nah, I'm done?
So here's the way I was thinking about with that one. I would probably pay my own airfare and go, but I wouldn't be very happy about it because I'm like, wait a minute. I'm the star of the movie, and you're not going to pay for my flight back to film the next one?
Well, it depends on how much they're paying me, right?
Yeah. What if
you could work something in your contract with that, but I don't know the details on the pay. I didn't look that deep into that part.
Sure. I'm just thinking that if somebody asks you back for a sequel and they're not willing to pay your airfare back to be in the movie, I'd be like, wait a minute. I'm the star. I'm the main character.
Yeah.
And you're not willing to pay for me to come back and reprise my role.
That's one thing I wish Friday the 13th would have done, like Nightmare on Elm Street, where they kept the same actor all the way through.
Yeah. Robert Englund's, he's Freddy Krueger through the whole thing.
Yeah. Except for those remakes or the not Rob Zombie, the newer ones, the updated ones.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, the 3D version contains a title card not seen in 2D home video releases for obvious reasons. After the Paramount Picture logo fades out, the card reads, "Ladies and gentlemen, the first few minutes of this picture are not in 3D. However, you will need the special 3D glasses." The film then continues as normal with a recap of the ending of Friday the 13th Part 2 and then presented in 2D. They didn't go back and put that in 3D, which I don't know how I feel about them recapping the ending of the Part 2 in a movie like that. That was 6 minutes of your movie time that you gave away. This film was released on a Friday the 13th. I like it when they do that stuff. The 3D version contains that's the one I just cropped in here again. According to the book Crystal Lake Memories, Chris' past encounter with Jason was originally intended to imply a sexual assault, which I talked about earlier. Mm-hmm. The series was meant to conclude with this entry, and the writers wanted audiences to be pleased with Jason's demise, reasoning that if he were portrayed as a rapist, they would have no interest in seeing him come back. It was ultimately decided that this was too dark a direction to take the character, and those elements were removed from the film. Or they said, we're making a lot of money. We're not going to, we don't want to just kill him up where he doesn't want to come back.
Maybe that's why at the end of the movie, he's just lying there dead. It's like, okay, we can close the trilogy right now. Because he's dead. He's at the barn. He's gone.
This was Paramount's first 3D film since Ulysses in 1954, 28 years earlier.
Whoa.
Now there's something down here a little bit further that says something about 56 years. I'll get to it here in a minute. So I don't know which one's actually right. But around 1 hour and 4 minutes, when Debbie first opens the Fangoria magazine, I love that she's reading Fangoria while lying in the hammock. The article she slips past is about Tom Savini, who was in charge of makeup and special effects in the first Friday the 13th. And man, does he do some amazing work in everything he touches. Good practical effects.
He's a legendary makeup artist. Man,
absolutely. Tracy Savage quit acting after this and earned a journalism degree. She became a reporter, but continued to receive fan mail from Friday the 13th fans throughout her entire career. Although it appears sunny and warm, this film was shot during a January-February winter. Several night scenes were trimmed in order to conceal the actor's visible breath appearing on screen. And that's one thing I noticed about Rick. He's wearing like a flannel shirt, and then he has that sweater on. Did you notice that? I'm like, man, this is in the middle of the summer, man. You can't be wearing that
You're
stuff.
in the middle of summer out in the woods.
By some estimates, Paramount was forced to spend between $8 and $10 million to actually get Part 3 into theaters. That's because they ended up making, supplying, and installing the individual lenses and silver screens required to project Part 3 in all 1,079 theaters, which showed the film opening weekend, August 1982. They also had to train the projectionists at theaters and establish a 24-hour hotline for all the theater encountering problems with 3Ds. That is crazy. How would you like to be that IT guy? Hey, we need you to come over here to Houston, Bond. We need you to come down here to Dallas. We need you to come to McAllen. You know, we got problems with our 3D.
That's crazy, man.
So,
I mean, if you think about it, not that many like theaters were equipped for the 3D effects. And so you'd have to go in and make sure that they handle the movie.
Why did they decide to do it in 3D then? They needed an advertising gimmick now that audiences has caught on to their storytelling formula. And 2 months after the release of Part 2, a 3D comedy Western from Spain called Coming At Ya made a stunning for the time $12 million, mostly due to the novelty of its use of 3D. Since Friday the 13th was built around stabbing instruments and protruding outward at the screen, a 3D version seemed natural. So Friday the 13th Part 3 became the first Paramount film in 3D since, this says 1956, so I'm not really sure if it's 56, 54, as well as the first ever 3D film to receive a wide theatrical release from a major Hollywood studio. The scarcity of 3D equipment or 3D equipped theaters in the past demanded 3D films only play on a limited number of screens.
Yeah.
In the original script, the character of Rick was called Derek. It was changed to Rick because it was one less syllable and therefore easier to scream.
Oh my goodness.
Derek! Rick. So Part 3 was the first production to use the Mark's 3D system, and it was a constant learning process. The earliest scenes they filmed, such as the opening tracking shot and Shelley and the bikers at the convenience store, had to be completely reshot due to difficulties with the 3D camera. Plus, they had to be careful about which colors to include in costumes, and everything had to be lit far brighter than normal. It took hours to set up individual shots, meaning the actors on the film spent most of their time simply sitting around waiting for the next shot to be set up. A common on-set experience for actors, but just far longer than normal this time. This focus on 3D spilled over to the actors. Initially, they were asked to learn how to use a paddle ball for a planned 3D sequence. When that was scrapped, they looked for any way the actors could do something that would play well in 3D, like Larry Zerner's juggling or throwing a wallet straight at the camera, or another actor dropping a yo-yo down towards the camera. Indeed, many of the actors now recall that there were far more focus on finding cool 3D things for them to do than acting. Yikes.
And looking back on that, knowing that trivia, looking back on it now, you're like, why was there a 3-minute yo-yo scene?
Yeah, 2 minutes of popcorn.
Why was this juggling scene so,
But it works. It works.
It worked. Yeah, it was awesome.
For the original ending, Chris awakens in the canoe on Crystal Lake after the events of the previous evening left her as the lone survivor. Chris rows the canoe back to shore and begins walking towards the house with an exhausted demeanor. She suddenly hears a noise from the house and thinks it's Rick, begins to rush to the porch of the house. Once she arrives at the front door, it suddenly bursts open and Jason emerges to the surprise of Chris. Jason then grabs Chris by the hair and chops her head off with a machete. These images show the original look of Jason Voorhees as well, which was a mask designed by effects artist Stan Winston. After the decision was made to excise this original ending, the look of Jason was completely overhauled to what we see now in film today. I like how they do multiple endings. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Tracy Savage said decades later that she was uncomfortable performing her nude scenes, but joked that now she looks back in fondness because it reminds her of how great her body used to be. At the beginning of the movie, when Jason is walking around the clothesline, for a split second, you can see his face partially covered by a shadow and blatantly tell that it is Stan Winston version of the face, specifically when you see Jason still wearing the Part 2 coveralls. This is the only time in the movie you can see this version of Jason's face, unless you count the cut alternate ending. So the Winston version does, in fact, show up in the theatrical cut, albeit very, very briefly. According to Larry Zerner in the documentary Crystal Lake Memories, the complete history of Friday the 13th, there was a scene in the original script where after Vera and Shelley leave the country store to head back to the barn, the motorcycle gang was terrorized. We're going to terrorize them inside the store. We're supposed to chase them down the road. Shelley was supposed to fire a corkscrew at them from a wine bottle he bought at the country store, causing them to crash. But for unknown reasons, this was shot. Can you imagine the 3D effect of that corkscrew coming at him, man?
So I'm saying, they should left that in there. That'd be cool.
The entire first 6 minutes of this movie was from part 2. This part 3 is the only Friday the 13th film in which none of the characters actually say the name Jason. Maybe this is because part 3 takes place one day after part 2, and Jason's legendary slasher exploits are effectively still developing over a long weekend at that point. 2 different masks were actually used for this film, one hero mask and one stunt mask. The hero was lost to time nailed to Marty Becker's shop door after the movie, whereas the stunt mask went on to feature as the hero in part, that's part 4, the final chapter, and 5, A New Beginning. This is sad here. In 2005, a hardcore fan lit a fire in the fake fireplace in the cabin, which resulted in the cabin being burnt to the ground.
Oh, no. You gotta be kidding me.
Oh, you idiot. I'm going to kind of cold. I'm going to light a fire. It's a fake fireplace, you idiot.
A fake fire.
Despite the number 3 used on the title and all the cover art, the opening titles use Roman numerals. By the way, this film features an all brunette cast except for Amy Stills Jenny in the archival footage at the beginning. So it's all brunettes, no blondes.
Oh, wow.
That's why they fought back a little bit.
I know.
All right. This movie was part of an early mid 1980s cycle of 3D movies. Let me know if you've ever seen any of these 3D movies. Jason, are you ready?
All right. Let me hear.
Star Chaser, The Legend of Orin, 1985.
Nope.
Metal Storm, The Destruction of Jared Sin, 1983.
Nope.
Jaws 3D from 1983.
I have, but not the 3D version.
What?
I've seen it like on television. So.
Oh, man, that's a great one to have in 3D. Parasite, 1982.
No.
Amityville 3D, 1983.
I think it's the same thing. It's like, I didn't know these movies were in 3D when I watched them.
You didn't know they were in color either because you were watching on black and white TV, weren't you?
I had to watch it through my neighbor's window. So
The Man Who Wasn't There in 1983. Silent Madness, 1984. Dogs of Hell, 1983. Coming at You, 1981. Friday the 13th, Part 3, obviously this one. Space Hunter, Adventures in the Forbidden Zone. And Treasure of the Four Crowns in 1983. No? None?
that's a lot of 3D movies in that time.
Right. I don't know if
They were all terrible, but
I don't know if a lot of them came to I know Jaws did, and I think Amityville did, but I don't remember any of those other ones hitting the movie theater.
exactly. That's a lot of bad movies.
How do you know they're bad if you've never seen them?
True. That's me
Thank you.
prejudging.
Thank you.
Prejudging.
So this is a tough one to talk about. So this film was originally going to include scenes, which I talked about earlier, that established Jason Voorhees had sexually assaulted some of the women he had later killed. But this element was nixed after one scene was filmed along those lines because the production agreed that making Jason into a rapist was a bad new element choice. They felt that it would ruin the shocking but true fact that fans of the series actually like Jason as a horror movie monster character, even after he's been a mass murderer in every edition. We don't need to add rapist to his repertoire.
Exactly. So let me ask you this: he drowned in the lake.
How did he keep growing?
What's that?
How did he keep growing?
No, but well, yeah, that too. But he drowns in the lake because the camp counselors were having sex
and weren't paying attention to him.
So is that why he doesn't become a rapist, or is that why he has a problem with all the sexual stuff?
Well, it wouldn't matter because they're still not paying attention to him.
True.
Right.
And he's a man now. Somehow he grew in the lake.
Yeah, that's one thing I always had a problem with, but what am I to say? He's still my favorite. This is the first, but not only Friday the 13th film where Jason starts off with no mask. Can you tell me the other ones?
There's the one where he's buried and in the dirt and lightning hits him and wakes him up. Is that part?
That's part 6. Jason Lives, I do believe.
Six. Jason Lives.
Mm-hmm. And
okay.
The other one is
Jason X.
No, Friday the 13th part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan.
Oh, okay.
Stan Winston Studios designed and sculpted a one-piece pullover mask on a head cast of Richard Brooker, the actor set to play Jason Voorhees. Winston wanted to take the character into a new direction by discarding the dislocated eye look of the previous two films. The sculpture was molded and cast in foam latex and then painted. Quote, I went to Stan's lab. They made a mold of my face, said actor Richard Brooker, and then they made a latex mask, and that's what I wore all the way through the movie. Although Richard Brooker wore Winston's foam latex mask in most of his scenes, by the time shooting commenced, there was a dissatisfaction with the design. For some reason, they didn't like the mask, noted Brooker. I think 3 guys on the set were Detroit Red Wings hockey fans, so they came up with the idea to cover it with a hockey mask. Before the hockey mask, you never really saw Jason's face anyway, but I was wearing the Stan Winston mask, so he was wearing it.
It looks really good. When he's not wearing a mask and his eyes
He looks really good.
Looks so good.
Well, here's another one. If in the book Crystal Lake Memories, actor David Catnemus, who played Chuck, had many unflattering things to say about his involvement in this film. Among them is that he really disliked the finished product. On page 94, exactly page 94, he recalls that after the cast and crew screening, he worked up the courage to go over to director Steve Miner and producer Frank Manusco Jr. He states, I don't know where I got the balls to say this, but I just said, this is crap. They said that this is Friday the 13th and it's in 3D. Those two things will make it a hit, and they were right. This makes David one of the several original Paramount Pictures era cast members of the series to use vulgarities to slam the respective picture they appeared in while talking to the author of Crystal Lake Memories, including Betsy Palmer from the first 1980 film, actor stuntman Ted White, who was Jason in the final chapter, and actress Kimberly Beck, Trish, also from the final chapter. Stan Winston's version can briefly be seen in the supermarket scene as well, the dream sequence with Chris, and in the scene where Jason watches from the barn as Shelley and Vera leave for the village in the Volkswagen Beetle. The Winston mask was also originally used for the climatic scene where Jason beheads Chris, but the ending was reshot featuring the new makeup from the unmasking sequence designed and sculpted by Douglas J. White and applied by White and Myers. The Chris's van is a 1979 Dodge Tradesman, and Rick's car is a 1963 Volkswagen Beetle. Besides Chris, Abel is the only other main character to survive this film unless he was killed off screen by Jason, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
And yes, there was a director cameo. Do you know where the director was there, Bond?
I'm going to have to say he was... Yeah, there's not really that many opportunities.
No. He was the TV newscaster.
Oh. Okay.
So there you have it, Bond.
That's tricky.
So Bond?
Check this out. Here's a list of some of the horror movies that came out in 1982. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This was the number 21 movie of 1982. Here's some of the horror movies that came out in 1982. It's amazing. Poltergeist.
Great movie.
Creepshow.
Love it. Creepshow 2 too.
The
I like
Thing.
it.
Okay, The Thing.
Yeah.
John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Halloween 3.
I like Halloween 3. I think it's fantastic.
Slumber Party Massacre.
Love it.
Amityville 2, The Possession.
Yeah.
All of those movies came out in 1982.
It's like I said, man, some of these years you get movies that it's crazy. Some of the stuff that comes out at the same time and your choices to which movie am I going to see tonight? You know?
Yeah. Every Friday, every weekend, you'd have a choice to make, man.
Well,
I
think at one time, I want to say whenever, there was like, I don't remember the exact, but it was like Shawshank Redemption, Forrest Gump, and like two other there was like 4 movies that were all like huge and
like
at the same time. At the same time.
Okay, so another proposed concept for part 3. We talked about the psychiatric hospital. What about this one? It focuses on Jeannie, who begins learning self-defense and returns to college after surviving an ordeal in the previous film, right? And after finding a corpse in her dormitory, she and another character track down Voorhees and face him in a final confrontation.
Nah.
She goes off to college, learns Taekwondo, and then hunts him down.
No.
No, because
No.
it doesn't happen at Crystal Lake.
Right.
It doesn't happen in the woods.
Well, Jason Takes Manhattan doesn't take place there either.
We could talk about the crumbling of the franchise later if you'd like.
I'll still love it. Hey, at least we don't have that stupid Halloween timeline. That thing's out of control.
That's rough, man. Overall, here's my final thoughts. This is a great movie. It's a great franchise. I like Jason Voorhees. I like the storyline. The more and more you study these movies, the more and more you get into these movies, I think the more you admire these movies.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is something deeper to it. It's the fact that in the first movie, it's the mom. You know what I'm saying? In this movie, he gets his mask. You see the evolution of the character through the movies. And I really, really like that. I really, really like that. Is the acting any good? No. Is the writing any good? It's kind of cheesy at times.
But so were half the movies of the 80s.
Yeah, I agree. And, but when it comes to horror movies, I hate to be a copycat, but I have to admit, Jason's probably one of my favorites too. I know he's one of your favorites. I think he's just one of my favorites too. I've never been a big fan of Freddy Krueger.
Me either. I don't know why.
I don't think his jokes are funny. I don't like the idea of anything can happen in a dream. So he's never appealed to me.
Mm-hmm.
Chucky's never appealed to me. He's just a little doll. He's not that scary to me. So I've never really been a big fan of those guys. Do I like the movies? Yeah, but I'm not a really big fan. This movie right here, I give a 7. 7 out of 10, I think. Especially for a part 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. That's really good for a part 3.
I love this movie. Like I said, it's where my infatuation with Jason came from. This is the one where he got his hockey mask. It's very iconic. I have a Jason hockey mask over here. It's a black one, but it's signed by Ari, the one that played Jason, the first one or second one of them. And then I like the 3D aspect of this. I think it really pushed it over the edge, especially at a time when 3D wasn't really a thing. I remember watching Hondo 3D where you had to go get your glasses at Subway or Dairy Queen or something and then go home and watch it because it was on regular TV and it was an old John Wayne movie. And then they did Creature from the Black Lagoon. I remember several of those that they would come on TV and you had to have those glasses and you had to watch it. There was no pausing. So if you had to go to the bathroom, you had to go at the break time. I like Jason's kills. I think they're very cool. I really, really did not like Freddy versus Jason. I liked it because Jason's in it. I would have much rather seen Jason versus Michael Myers. I think there is some really good fan videos of that on YouTube where they've done whole movies of Freddy versus Jason and the fights they have with machetes and knives and in the woods. It's great. And I wish we could get that movie made. And I think it would be fantastic. I think it would make so much money, as long as the script was good.
You prefer the silent killers, the silent slashers, than you do the sarcastic ones?
Well, Art the Clown's he's silent, but he's sarcastic. Does that make sense? He's funny. He's he's got the little horn and the sunglasses on and all that.
Yeah.
But I like a slasher movie that's scary. To me, something like Jason or Michael Myers, they could really happen. Art the Clown could really happen. It's, we'll talk about killer clowns in a future episode, but I think when it's something like that, it just adds what was the movie with The Strangers? Where those people come and they break into that people's house and torture. That stuff can happen, and that makes us scream. I mean, kids today are crazy too. So all that stuff like that's real life. I think it's scarier than Freddy making a joke. You know what I mean? It's just not my cup of tea. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm thankful for the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise and the Chucky franchises. I like Chucky. I think he's funny. I like Leprechaun. I think he's great. Anything that deals with horror like that, I'm going to be a fan of. It doesn't mean that when I say I don't like Freddy, I don't mean I don't like Freddy like I hate him. I just don't enjoy his movies as much as I do Friday the 13th, Halloween's, Chucky, all those. all those other ones. For me, just for the fact that this is Jason gets his mask, the 3D, and the story's all right. It's all right. I like the nerdy guy, and the I like how the nerd actually is the one that gave Jason his mask. I love it. I love it to pieces. So for me, give me an 8.5 on this movie. I think
Nice.
if you're a Jason fan, that you have to go back to this movie and see where it all basically came together. You started to see Jason actually take form. Actually, it kind of started in part 2 when he had the one eye looking out of the sack. I think the hood, that was great for me too. I love that version of Jason too. But I think this guy's performance, Brooker's performance as Jason, you couldn't tell he was wearing foam padding. You thought he was just this real big muscular guy. I like how he was agile. He could move around. He wasn't like, I hate it when Michael Myers and Jason do that slow, stupid walk, and you got, the girls running as hard as they can. And ultimately they're going to trip over a log in the wood or find a hole and twist their ankle or something stupid.
Right.
But I like the fact that they made Jason mobile in this one, and he could actually run around, chase the girls down. If you remember the scene, the flashback where he's actually chasing after that girl and he's running after her and dragging her back down. I like that. That adds another element to Jason that you just hardly saw after this.
I like the fact that this movie takes place a day or two after the last movie.
One day after, yeah. It's crazy. I think that's pretty cool. But we are the Tragedy of Cinema podcast. We hope you're enjoying these summer sequels. We got several more planned. I'm not really sure which way we're going to go yet, but I know ADZ will be coming in for a Back to the Future 2 one soon, so be on the lookout for that. So any final thoughts there, Bond?
Once again, watch this movie, go back, watch it, review it. Let us know what you think on Facebook. Tell a friend to start watching these movies. If you're a fan of slasher films, this is one of the holy trilogies of slasher guys, I think. And so you really got to check it out. This is a good one. I really enjoyed this one.
You can still find copies of the Blu-ray and DVD with the 3D glasses still in it. I highly recommend getting that and watching it in 3D.
Oh, yeah. The 3D is some of the best, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think this episode's coming to a close, and that's a wrap.
And cut.
The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. Those we love the most. The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer.